People on minimum wage were never buying homes. Rachel is so right. People working for minimum wage aren't complaining that they can't afford a house. It's the individuals making $80, $90, $100,000, $120,000, $150,000 who can't afford the average house anymore. And the minimum wage workers are complaining because a minimum wage worker cannot get an apartment on their own. And that used to be true. A minimum wage worker in the 80s, they couldn't afford a house either, but they could get an apartment on their own. And if they wanted to be really financially responsible and get ahead and get out of the minimum wage job, they could get a roommate, save the extra money. Today, a minimum wage worker could talk to another minimum wage worker, go together, and both of them together cannot qualify for a one-bedroom apartment. And the average house is $400,000. You need $120,000 to qualify for the average house with no debt. No student loans, no car payments, no credit cards. If you're lucky enough to pay all that off, then you need another $50,000 for a very low down payment and closing costs to get into that house, and it's still not financially responsible. To really be comfortable to buy a house today, the average home of $400,000, you need about $175,000 to $200,000 for the home to feel like a pleasure and not a prison. So you got to think about this. Think about all the people, 120 million people who do not own, who rent. How many of them make $200,000 a year? Not many. So about 95, 97% of Americans who are renting cannot afford or will never be able to afford the average house in this country.